So let's get ready to count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Lake Forest Podcast, the podcast where you can learn what's going on in town. I have Rick Amos and John Powers here to clue us in about a couple things. The first thing is Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers and listeners just like you. Shark Guy Beach Fishing is a premier South Florida beach fishing experience out of Longboat Key, Florida. Their world-renowned captains not only put you on the fish, but to help you and your family make a memory of a lifetime. Check them out on Facebook or at sharkguybeachfishing.com to schedule an outing. Shark Guy is your guy for your next charter. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Reverend Luke Back from the Church of the Holy Spirit, Matt A., Elizabeth C., Coastal Lance, Otto, RDM, Johnny C. And we'd like to thank the Breakfast Club of Lake Forest, Captain Mike's in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the Brat Stop in Kenosha, Wisconsin as well, the Frolic Lounge in Waukegan, Illinois, and then the Greentown Tavern in Waukegan. The tree lighting. We get a lot of new people that move into the area, and this tree lighting deal, I mean, I've been here 4 years. That's a pretty big thing. Rick, John, who runs this thing? I see those poor guys running the lights up, in there. And I was part of it last year for the first time, and it was a great experience. Who's responsible for it? What's going on? What's happening?
The Friends of Lake Forest Park and Recreation Foundation has been working with the city of Lake Forest to host the event, manage the event, and in essence, grow and expand the event. So this year, I believe, is our 38th year, the city of Lake Forest doing it. The foundation's only been involved the last 3 or 4 years. And this year, we think will be the best one to date.
The best one.
The best one, and primarily because we've expanded the scope of the event to be more inclusive. We're offering new things this year, and essentially, there's a lot of work that goes into putting this together. And how can we get folks to hang out a little bit longer and have a little more fun is kind of the theme. So this year's event, if you will, is being expanded. Traditionally, the program is started around 4 o'clock, runs till about 5:15, 5:30 with the mayor flipping on the lights in downtown Market Square. And it kind of ends at that point in time.
Well, so from what I remember, you got a band coming through, you got Rockettes going up there,
We do. We've expanded. So we're starting at 2:30. With some programming from 2:30 to 4, which is mainly kids oriented, activities to keep the young ones happy. Santa Claus arrives at 3 o'clock. We've expanded Santa's hours this year. He and Mrs. Claus decided to be good partners with us. So Santa will be visiting with families from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. He'll take a break and then come out again at 5:30 and stick around till about 7:30. So that'll be good because there's always long lines to see Santa, and some parents get rather excited if Billy and Susie don't get a chance to go visit with Santa because they've been standing in line too long. So the good news is he's helping us out.
Or maybe I'll sit on Santa's lap.
Come sit on Santa's lap. He would probably like that.
So 38 years, the Parks and Rec, Friends of Park and Rec. Clue us in about that too. I mean, because Rick, you did that awesome show with Maddie and Tay. Because I mean, you got to front the money, you take on the risk, you help out the city by doing it. How does this all work?
Yeah, Pete, let me just real quick. So Jackie Grecker's the president, and she's provided great leadership, particularly over the last, I think it's been 3 years or so. She's now been president, 2 or 3. And of course, Sally Swarthout, Joe Mobile, and the whole crew from the staff does a tremendous amount. And as we've talked about in past podcasts, right, when we're all enjoying the fun, whether it's a holiday, 4th of July, tree lighting, well, the staff's working. right? So,
Right.
I think it's always important to acknowledge that. But the great thing about kind of what Rick's been doing, kind of leading some of these special projects, is learning and applying, right? We see that from the music festival. So as much as we're trying to do, big and exciting things, you still have to fit them into a budget, and you still have to make sure that from a fundraising perspective, it's practical. So,
Yeah.
Rick's done a lot of great work working with the city, and then a lot with the Chamber of Commerce, right? Because they've got a captive audience to a degree in Market Square. They've got planned events in terms of, special shopping days as we get closer to the holidays. And it really just kicks off the whole holiday season. It's not unlike, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and some of the other things that have been great traditions for a lot of us. So, my hat's off to the volunteers that keep doing a lot of things in this community that, do a lot of the behind the scenes work to make sure everything gets pulled off. So, and Rick's a perfect example of that.
Well, of course, a shout out to Joanna Rolick, 25 years.
John,
Speaking of hats off, Skoo Walker, nice to see you.
Good morning.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Yeah.
What we're adding this year, as I said, we're starting earlier. Santa will be there for extended period of time. We've got food vendors coming in. The Lake Forest Bank and Trust has been a great supporter of this event over the many years. They're handing out free cookies. We got the Ortels with Compass have their famous donut truck camper. They're giving away 1,000 donuts this year to attendees. We've got drink vendors going there. We've got a music stage going there, and food available for purchase. So there's a kids area, as I mentioned, where they can do crafts, activities, write letters to Santa Claus. There's a cookie decorating station for the kids to buy cookies and ice them and decorate them and things of that nature. We'll have heat lamps there if the weather's a little cold to keep people going. So, the intent is to make it family friendly, inclusive of the community, plenty of space to walk around and visit with your friends and neighbors, or to go into stores that are open. And then at 4:00, the traditional show starts, which is we have an orchestra playing this year with French horns. We have the high school choir will be there. They'll have about 100 folks showing up to sing holiday songs and Christmas carols. The Lake Forest Dance Academy comes on and does a small performance, and then the mayor gets up and provides his messages. And then we flip on the lights. That'll culminate around 5:30. So from 4 to 5:30, if you will, is the programmatic stuff that folks that have been attending for years will be used to. And then at 5:30, we have Hello Weekend performing on the music stage for 2 hours, from 5:30 to 7:30, doing a variety of songs. And the intent is just to hang around. There's a beverage tent, there's food vendors, there's great music going on. So, enjoy yourself, dress appropriately for the weather, and stick around for a couple hours and have some fun.
It's going to be warm next week, boys. You better get behind that beer tent again, Rick.
We will.
I'm coming thirsty.
We have special drinks, holiday drinks, as well as beer, wine, soft drinks, and water. A lot of warm drinks, because even though it's looks like it's going to be low 40s that day, it always gets cool when that sun goes down.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. This year we also have a commemorative Yeti mug for the event, which is great. So you buy a special mug with our friend's logo on it, actual Yeti branded mug, and your first drink is free if you buy the Yeti mug.
Wow.
First drink is free.
How big is the mug?
We're all about engagement and community. So we're trying to make it fun and keep the costs down for everybody. Have a good time.
And is it going to be tickets?
We will. So food is cash with purchase from the vendors. And then for beverages, you buy drink tickets. Exactly. Just like the other events.
Okay. I mean, it's a blast. I went for the first time last year.
Hallmark, man.
I hang in my basement and I do podcasts. Occasionally I go out. And I went out last year, and when you see the Rockettes and they're bringing the hot cocoa, it's like one of those Christmas movie scenes. You know what I mean? And then the mayor does the countdown and everything, lights up. It's as a newcomer, I vouch. As an old comer, Skoo, what are your memories of the past 38 tree lightings?
They keep getting better and better. And this year sounds like it's going to be even better than last several.
Yeah.
What was the first one like, Skoo?
There was a tree lighting.
There was a tree.
Not as grand as it's been. Tell you that.
So
High school.
who picks the tree?
Yeah, the city staff, the forestry department within the city of Lake
Okay.
Forest, finds a tree and selects a tree. In fact, I think years ago, John, didn't the Powers family dedicate or donate a tree?
We did. They were very kind in the way that they positioned that. We had a big Norway spruce tree that I was concerned about because it was overgrown in a bunch of areas. So in order to get permission to remove it, one of the options was, hey, we could use it for the city Christmas tree. And I'm like, perfect, do whatever you need to do, you can have it. So that was probably 4 or 5 years ago. So it worked out great because I had a problem solved. The city got the benefit of the tree.
So they put it in the middle of Market Square. They light it up like it's a 4th of July, and weather permitting, I remember ice sculptures they do in the middle there and all that. And
no ice sculpture this year.
no ice sculpture. Okay.
No, we decided to not pass on the ice sculpture and
They just didn't want you to have a chainsaw.
for more.
Here, hold my beer.
Pete, you can't put your tongue on it this year.
No polls. But what we should also add, generally for those that have gone, it's a pretty compact event. You'll get 4,000 to 5,000 people will show up, most between that 4 and 5:30 time period. So what we've done this year is we've stretched the event, if you will, and that some of the kids area will extend all the way over to Starbucks there on Western Avenue, and then the food and drink areas will extend all the way down to Westminster to the stop sign at Westminster, if you will. So in front of Einstein's and those stores. So, the intent was to spread out the event so it's a little easier to move around and go from point A to point B.
Now, this is Friends of the Lake Forest Park and Rec. You guys exist from donations, right? Because this is, there's volunteers, but not everything's for free, right?
Not everything's free, right? We work with the city. The city manager and city staff asked us a few years ago to kind of get involved and help organize the event. City is very involved, and John Eldridge kind of leads the effort on the city there, along with Sally and Joe and lots of others. We've had several meetings about this. So it is a cooperative event between the two organizations. But it is a fundraiser, so buying tickets, there'll be donation buckets in various spots around the location to support the Friends of Parks and Rec and the foundation. So it is quote unquote a fundraiser for us as well. But there's no admission. Come one, come all, come in on your wagons or however you want to get there. The thought is it's a community orchestrated event that is great for 3 or 4 hours to just come and hang out.
So if I want to make a donation now, can I go to, where am I going?
Yeah, so you can go to the Friends Park and Recreation Foundation website, which is through the City of Parks and Recreation website. We have a page on there where you can make donations. There was also a flyer that was sent to all the residents in the city 2 or 3 weeks ago, describing what the Friends of Parks and Recs do, all the programs that we're involved in, and if you'd like to give, you can do it through that form as well. And as I said, at the event, we have a tent set up over in the kids area, which will be over where the cookie decorating station is, essentially over there right in front of Lululemon, and there'll be a donation bin there for folks that want to throw some cash or checks or gold coins in the bucket.
Gold coins, yes. Speaking of gold coins, Skoo.
You guys know that the Park and Rec isn't a district like in a lot of communities, right? So it's a line item on the city budget. So where the Friends were established under Fred Jackson's original leadership was to try to supplement a lot of the things that the community needed across all of the Park and Rec facilities. And it's been It was great. I mean, like I said, I did it for almost 10 years, and the people that do the heavy lifting and the organization has really made it, a special group of people, and they do great work.
All right, on a serious, we're getting towards the end of the show. On a serious note, Ellen Stirling. Rest in peace, Ellen. I mean, great lady, didn't know her that long. She the 100-year anniversary of the store, and I had no idea she was sick. She always seemed vibrant to me. So her family's been around a long time. So props, pouring one out to Ellen Stirling and her family.
We had a great podcast with her, and what a phenomenal family, and what a phenomenal person. And her contributions to the community are just unprecedented, and it's just sad. I mean, she stuck around for the 100th anniversary, which is shocking in itself that store's been there 100 years, but it's a great loss for the community. But rest in peace.
Well, and we talked about serving earlier. I just read her story in a piece yesterday. Wow. At a young age, right? And here's somebody that's committed her life, if you will, to others, and improving the quality of life and serving in a thankless way. And boy, the lasting impression of her legacy and her family's legacy is really impressive. I wish more people thought that way in this day and age, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm sure Wintrust will recognize her. That's a great story too, man. What a great lady. Yeah. All right, next week, Thanksgiving, guys. What are we doing? I'm deep frying. I'm a deep fryer. I want it done in 50 minutes, and that's it. And I put the deep fryer as close to my neighbor's fence as possible.
Just thaw your turkey out before you put it in there.
Yeah.
No, it's
he's got a mini one that he's going to throw in there frozen.
It goes up like a mortar. Is everybody staying in town for Thanksgiving?
We are, Pete. It's all about preparation for the tree lighting the following day. So
okay. I'm just making sure.
A lot of football, a lot of eating, and then early rising on Friday. The city will begin to shut down the streets around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning around Market Square, so we can begin to set up, and then from CVS, to Westminster, that's closing at 1 o'clock, just for everybody that's coming in town. So make sure you aren't leaving your car in there during the time we're setting up.
And again, you can donate right here to the Friends of Park and Rec.
You should have shared the screen.
I'm putting it right here.
Okay.
Right there.
The magic of video editing. And then Skoo, last thing, we'll let everybody go. What's up with this Midnight Madness thing, boys basketball at the high school?
Well, it's a quote Midnight Madness. I don't think it's at midnight, but it's it's a chance to come out and see the team, and they've done some different things this year to bring out the team. It's going to be a great season for them, and if you can get out there, and I don't know about
8 o'clock. So it's not midnight; it's 8 o'clock.
No,
we'll put the link right here.
Yeah, I don't think it's midnight, but I was told it's earlier. So
that's curfew,
it's supposed to be a fun little thing for the basketball team kicking off the season, and I'm curious to see the dunk contest, but we'll have to see what that is.
Like dunk.
Wow.
They go to an 8-foot hoop maybe, or I don't know, but
I'm the Michael Jordan of coffee and donut dunking.
I think it's great.
Very last thing, Skoo. Shout out Coach Cat, Lake Forest College, undefeated 2 years in a row.
On to the playoffs.
Undefeated, on to the playoffs. Rick Amos, John Powers, thanks for coming on the show. Thank you for all the work that you're doing. And then Skoo, thank you for coming on the show.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Lake Forest Podcast is supported by viewers and listeners just like you. Shark Guy Beach Fishing is a premier South Florida beach fishing experience out of Longboat Key, Florida. Their world-renowned captains not only put you on the fish, but to help you and your family make a memory of a lifetime. Check them out on Facebook or at sharkguybeachfishing.com to schedule an outing. Shark Guy is your guy for your next charter. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Reverend Luke Back from the Church of the Holy Spirit, Matt A., Elizabeth C., Coastal Lance, Otto, RDM, Johnny C. And we'd like to thank the Breakfast Club of Lake Forest, Captain Mike's in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the Brat Stop in Kenosha, Wisconsin as well, the Frolic Lounge in Waukegan, Illinois, and then the Greentown Tavern in Waukegan.
So let's get ready to count down. Okay. Ready?
Let's go, baby.
Okay, 10.
We love you, George.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
God, I love this town.
Oh! There's Kevin Bacon.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Let's get a pano.